So in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the cool new neighborhoods in Virginia Beach called the Vibe District. We'll talk about what's in there, what's going on with the houses, what it costs, how close is it to the beach, what can you do in the area. Coming up. Hey, my name is Sam Santalone and I'm a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads area, and that includes Virginia Beach, and it goes through Williamsburg, and I do videos every week about living and moving to the area. So the Vibe District is a new area in Virginia Beach that the city has put a lot of attention to building up and turning into one of the new kind of premier spots that the city is focusing on, that people can come to and enjoy the unique aspects of what Virginia Beach has. Why do I say unique? Because this area is a lot of artistry, creativity, new local businesses, restaurants, kind of like a new, they call it the Vibe District because it does have vibrance. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Vibe District, but also talk about the areas around it there, the neighborhoods that are very close, that if you get a house in these areas, you're going to be very close to the Vibe District, but also close to the beach, and maybe you could walk to both in some cases. So first, I'm going to show you where the Vibe District is. So if you look at the map of Virginia Beach, on the eastern side, you'll see the Virginia Beach Oceanfront. And so that's the classic area where a lot of the, the tourists, the destination spots for the beach are. But if you come just off of the beach, about a block or two, you'll start seeing a difference in how the area feels, a different vibe, if you will. But the Vibe District is just off of the beach. I want to show you the actual boundaries of where it is. It's not one cut and dry section of the area. If you notice, it's kind of like a stair stepper where there are boundaries around different streets. It goes west and goes up, and then it goes west again, like a stair stepper, right? So it's about 4 blocks going from the far east side near Pacific Avenue and going over towards Cypress Avenue, and it goes back up from there. It goes up towards 18th, and then goes up again towards 19th, and then towards 21st, and it goes all the way up to the north part where you'll see the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art right across the two primary roads of 21st Street and 22nd Street. The area itself is kind of a weird shape, but back in the late 2000s, the city started putting a focus on this area as being an area that is new for artists, for creativity, for just making a fresh stamp in Virginia Beach. Because, over time, Virginia Beach Oceanfront is kind of, what it is, and it's hard to revamp that whole area. But, there are parts off of Virginia Beach that kind of needed a facelift a little bit. This is kind of an industrial part of town. And also close to some spots that, that have neighborhoods in them, but they're kind of old. It was the perfect spot just off the beach, close to the Virginia Beach Convention Center, but also walkability to the spots close to the beach, and also walkability to different neighborhoods as well, and easy access off of the interstate. Over time, over several years, individual businesses started coming in, and then murals started coming in. I'd say in about 2015, 2016, you started seeing more people put more effort to painting murals along businesses' walls. But as you walk through the Vibe District or drive through, you will be struck by the impressive murals across the area. All the walls are covered with different types of creative murals. Paintings, color is highly encouraged in these murals. So you'll see a bunch of different types of things happening in here. There are over 50 murals in the Vibe District right now. And then there are other smaller little painting displays just outside the Vibe District too. So you kind of start getting the feel of the area even before you get into the actual Vibe District. Little factoid, I actually was watching Jeopardy several years ago, and I saw Alex Trebek give an answer on Jeopardy that included the Vibe District. The answer was Virginia Beach, and the question had the Vibe District in it. So it's even starting to gain some traction nationally too. But within this, there are lots of restaurants. There are some of my favorite restaurants that we go to a lot. Commune, Esoteric, Hearth is right in here too. Different types of restaurants and lots of healthy spots. Like Commune's a great spot if you can go for a breakfast, very healthy breakfast. There are others like the Stock Pot, Pink Dinghy. There's a brewery, Vibrant Shore Brewing. There's also Chesapeake Bay Distillery, which is in the Vibe District. And then you've got other places. For example, just around there is Beach Bully Barbecue, Mary's Kitchen, a lot of other restaurants too. But there's an ice cream place called Lolly's that my wife and I love to go to. It's one of the best. The ice cream is awesome. And there's a great coffee shop too called 3 Ships Coffee. And so another thing about the Vibe District is that it has a lot of events, and it encourages events. It encourages businesses to thrive in the local community. And so you've got the Old Beach Farmers Market, which is a very popular farmers market for local food that is right in the middle of the Vibe District. Every Saturday morning during most of the summertime into the spring and some of the fall, and then even even sprinkled in parts of the wintertime too, but it's mostly in the warm parts of the year. There's even a Vibe Park, which has, they call it Singer-Songwriter Saturdays. You have some performances in there. That's close to the Virginia Beach Convention Center. And in the businesses, there are some very unique businesses around here. Igor's, which is a graphic designer that does all hand-drawn graphics. Another place called, right down the street, called the North End Bag Company. They make leather bags in there. There's another one called Jars of Dust, a pottery spot. And there's also a place where you can paint your own mermaids. And the place is called the Mermaid Factory. So as you drive through the Vibe District, you'll notice that it feels kind of industrial. It has a little bit of that kind of up and coming, businesses in old buildings kind of vibe, but there are no like tall buildings, but it has that little industrial commercial flair to it. But right as you come out of the Vibe District, you'll get into neighborhoods. Now, in the Vibe District itself, there aren't too many actual houses in here. There are a few, but they don't really come in the district because most of the district itself is commercial or restaurants and all that. And these neighborhoods are in demand for a variety of reasons, one of which is that they're close to the Vibe District, and they're also close to the oceanfront. And those are the two primary things. Some of these neighborhoods have a very wide range of prices. So, for example, you can get around the Vibe District, you can get neighborhoods in the upper 100 and 200 price range condos. Some examples of these are Bird Neck North, and the Captain's Walk is another condo neighborhood in there. Land's End condos, Sawgrass condos, Seabridge Square. And then there's the place called Shadow Lawn that is further south away from the Vibe District, but it has parts that have like 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom townhouses or condos, and also some single family houses that they're not as close walkability to the Vibe District, but they still count. I'd say you can get a Shadow Lawn single family house anywhere from like the $450, $500 price range on the low end upwards to the $600, $700, and close to $800,000 price range. And there's also Lakewood, which is the closest one to me to the Vibe District that you could also just kind of easy breeze it over to Vibe District in a matter of a couple of minutes, especially if you're on the north side of Lakewood. But this is like around 15th Street, 16th Street, 14th Street, just south of the Vibe District. Now, another neighborhood that it kind of encompasses a wider range of the area near the Vibe District is called Beachboro. And you'll find that there are different houses in the areas near the Vibe District can encompass Beachboro, or that people will associate in Beachboro. And that's kind of the bigger overarching neighborhood that's nearby here. And you'll find condos in here in the 1 and 200 price range to start. You'll find them up into the 3s. You'll find others into the 4 or 5, upward to close to $1 million. Some of these condos, especially the larger ones and more in demand ones. But then you got some that are smaller, 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms. That keeps the prices lower, but sometimes they have higher condo fees. Then you'll have other single family houses that are again $500, $600, $700 upwards to $1 million. You'll find some that are detached condos or attached that don't have any fees that are in the $500, $600 and up price range because this area has a mixture: detached houses, some beach bungalows, some 2-story, and then you'll see some that are condos, some condo developments, and you'll also find some that are twin, like you'll see 2 houses connected, like they look like duplexes, but they're individual houses connected. And those can be upwards of the 5s and 6s as well, upward and even more than that. So you'll find a real vast amount of styles and sizes and prices in the area around Vibe District. Now, the question often people ask me is, can you Airbnb areas in this part of the Vibe District or near it? The answer is only in very specific situations. So there are what are considered overlay districts. These districts are places where the city has said, if you want to Airbnb, these are areas that we will allow it if we approve your request. Most of the city does not allow short-term rentals at all. And the district that has the access to short-term rental opportunities is the Oceanfront Resort District. And so I'll drop a link in here for more information about that. And it includes part of the Vibe District or areas near the Vibe District, but there aren't a ton of them. So I'd check the map. I would not suggest buying a house around the Vibe District with the idea that I can Airbnb it, because while the city might allow you to do it in some certain situations, that could change. And it's been changing several times over the last few years because the city is still trying to figure out what they want to do. And it's finally, I think, starting to land to me in this, like, hey, if you're in this district, we might approve it. Otherwise, we're not. I think that's where it's going to end up being, but I still would be very cautious. I would only, to me, go after a house if you're planning to live there or do something separate from short-term rentals. And if you can, for however long you can, great. So if you're looking for a place to live near the beach but has a cool little unique vibe to it, That's why they call it the Vibe District. The Vibe District might be the place that you might enjoy the most because of just how different this area is compared to the rest of Hampton Roads near the beaches and even any other parts around the East Coast that might have beach access. This area is very unique for a variety of reasons, and I think it's worth considering if you want to live in Virginia Beach and have beach access. Now, if you have any more questions about relocating to Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, let me know. I do that all the time. That's what I do. I love helping people relocate to this area. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I got my contact information in the description. You can ask me anything. You can reach out at any point, and I'll do whatever I can to help you relocate to the area. And I will see you on the next video.